What up, y'all? Welcome to Throttle Only. My name is Nate. This is a 2023 BMW i4 Grand Coupe. Let's check it out. All right, y'all, so we're up front here in front of this beautiful BMW i4. This thing just looks absolutely gorgeous. Let's just talk about this hood for just a second here. So there are going to be 3 body lines above each wheel well, and it has such a very nice design to it. As we go ahead and continue on forward, in the front there's going to be a BMW logo, and it's going to have those standard colors we always see. And then there's also going to be some more body lines or some more dimension around that logo, which makes it look really nice. As we continue on down, you have your same i4 grille that we've seen on a lot of other 4 Series, but except this one is going to have this mesh part at the bottom, and the rest is going to be blank up top. Along with that grille, there is also going to be an i logo there because this is going to be the i4. Now, as we continue looking at the front here, so on the sides, there are going to be side air curtains. They are going to be functional. It'll help with some range as well as the aerodynamics. And then there will also be a front splitter on here. It's going to be kind of this black plastic look, but it looks very nice. You might also notice there are some green stickers up here. So in California, we do require having these stickers that essentially say that you are okay to ride in the carpool lane. So the last thing I want to talk about up here are these headlights. So these headlights look very nice. They are going to have your standard LED DRLs, and I do wish that those DRLs would replace in amber, but instead they are going to have your LED indicator on the side. So you're going to have 2 separate lights going on when you have your hazards or your turn signals on. Additionally, there will be a BMW LED logo that's going to be on the side of those headlights. That looks very nice. And then of course these will also have your LED projector headlights as well. So now that we're at the side of the vehicle, there are a couple things to admire. First of all, it's going to be this silhouette. I just love the 4 Series silhouette. And then also this paint color. So this paint color is going to be San Remo Green Metallic, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So now let's go ahead and talk about these wheels. So the wheels up front here are going to be your 18-inch gunmetal gray aero wheels, and these are going to be the best wheels for you if you want the best range. As we come on back, behind those wheels, there will be a vent, and that vent is actually going to be functional, and it's going to have this very nice color to it. It's going to be like this gunmetal gray to match those wheels. Just above the doors here, there's going to be this chrome trim that is going to extend all around those windows, and I think that does not look good. I think that if they replace that gunmetal color that we have down below here with that, it would look so much better. So there will also be a side skirt, and that side skirt is going to be that same color that we saw in the front for that front splitter. As we make our way up and look at these mirrors, so these mirrors are going to function very nicely. They're going to have your blind spot monitoring system in them. Your LED indicator will be on the outside, and they will also fold for you. So now as we talk about these door handles, so as you approach the vehicle, it's going to have a very nice light that will display on the ground for you. And then underneath those handles that lie very flush to the vehicle, you're also going to have some lighting there as well, so you can see where to put your hand. And of course, with these door handles, there'll be all the proximity sensing and all that good stuff that's going to be part of your key, but this is also going to have the digital key as well. So at the rear of the i4 here, there will be a shark fin antenna that's going to sit on top of the roof. There will be standard defroster lines on the rear windshield. And then as we come on down on top of where the trunk will be, there's not going to be a spoiler, but there will be a small lip there. As we come on down, there will be a giant BMW logo that will house your reverse camera. I think this logo in the back is actually going to be bigger than the one in the front, but it still looks pretty nice. So on this side of the vehicle, there will be an i4 badge. On the other side, there will be an eDrive35 badge. I'll explain what that means a little bit later. There will also be some non-functional venting behind the rear tires here. That looks pretty good. You can't really tell until you come up on the vehicle. And since this is a fully electric vehicle, there's not going to be any exhaust. However, you have a pretty cool looking diffuser, and it has that beautiful gunmetal gray color that we saw on the side of the vehicle. I think that looks super nice. And the last thing I want to mention about the rear styling here are going to be these tail lamps. So these tail lamps look super nice. They are going to be LED, and they look super swoopy. They actually will extend all the way to the side of the vehicle as well. And if you were to turn on your hazards or the turn signals, there'll be this red indicator just above them. I do wish, again, that that would fully replace those LED red lamps. Let's take a look at the website so I can officially go over some of these specs. So here is the BMW i4 Grand Coupe. As you can see on the left side of the screen, there is a regular version and an M version. For the regular version, there are 3 different models: the eDrive35, eDrive40, and xDrive40. So the BMW that I have here today is going to have the standard sport classic BMW design. These are all of the things that are included. Here's a look at what the color is and the wheels. And here is the MSRP as built. You can see that at the bottom of the screen. And here are a bunch of options that you can add if you choose. So the BMW i4 Gran Coupe eDrive35 is going to have 282 horsepower, 295 foot-pounds of torque, which means it can go 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. It will be a single-speed automatic transmission, and it is also going to be rear-wheel drive. So as far as the range, it has an estimated range of anywhere from 252 to 276 miles. Keep in mind though that there are a variety of things that will decrease your range. For example, like weather conditions, tires, capacity, weight, and driving habits. It also says that the charge time is going to be about 7 hours with a level 2 charger. All right, so now I have the vehicle plugged in. I'm just using a standard AC charging. So this is what the center digital instrument gauge cluster will look like. There's a lot of data on here. It shows that I currently have the battery set to charge at 85%, and it says that it will be done at 1:48 p.m. and it shows the time on the bottom left there. And then as we look at the infotainment screen, if I go ahead and select charging here, so you can specifically choose when you want this to charge. So maybe if you're going to depart every day at 7 a.m., you can do that. It also has an AC limit on here, so it'll actually charge a lot slower than it currently is if you would like. And then your charging target, currently it's set to 85%. You can unlock the charging cable. There's fan loudness. And then you can also precondition the battery. If you're going to go to, say, Electrify America or ChargePoint, it will do that for you. So since this is an electric vehicle, there's not going to be an exhaust sound, but there is going to be a certain sound that will play when you put it into reverse. Take a listen. So now we're going to move on to the storage spaces in this i4. I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood and show you what's up there. Okay, so here is a look at what it looks like underneath the hood here of this i4. So there's not going to be an engine. Of course, you guys already know that, but there's going to be this giant engine cover here. It looks pretty good. Underneath here, there's literally just electric components. Pretty interesting. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at all the rear space here. So there are a couple of ways you can open up the rear. The first of which is going to be on the key fob. You can also do it inside of the vehicle. And then you can also just push underneath this BMW badge right here. And then my favorite one is you can actually kick and it will open up the hatch. Even though it looks like a trunk, it's a hatch. So let's start from the top here. So up top, there's a close button up here. There's also going to be a lock button if you would like to lock the vehicle and close it at the same time. There's going to be a privacy shade here. It looks very nice. The second part to that is just right there. This is all of my camera gear and cleaning equipment. You can see it is a very good sized trunk here. And then in here, there are some charging cables to charge the vehicle, just with a standard outlet, and you can get that on BMW's website. And now let me go ahead and clear the trunk so I can show you all of the space in here. So now that the trunk is cleared, let's go ahead and take a look. So there's going to be a little bit of a loading floor here, you can see. And you'll also have a BMW floor mat in here that's going to take all of the brunt of your scratches. Underneath here, there's going to be a little bit of storage, pretty deep pocket. And then on one side, a little bit more storage. And then on the other side, there's going to be more storage, and there will also be a net here. So for this cargo cover piece right here, you can actually remove this, and you can also put down the seats. You can see that there is going to be a three-way split here. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. If you only want to fold down the middle seat, just pull in the center right here, and there you are. So you can pull the seats down by pulling this tab right here, and it will pull forward. Now just do the same thing on this side. And that's what it's going to look like with those seats all the way flat. And here is a look at the room with all of those seats folded down. Just look at all of this. All right, so I'm now sitting in this i4. So this color is going to be Tacora red leather, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The seats are decently comfortable as well. The seats back here are more comfortable than the seats up front. Up front, they do feel a little bit hard. Let's talk about this door for a second. So the windows are going to be frameless, which looks very nice. They are only going to come down about halfway in the rear. Then as we make our way down, there's some nice black material there with this nice brushed aluminum color handle, as well as some accent pieces. There's also going to be some lighting back here as well, just a small little strip. It's not going to be as heavy as maybe Mercedes-Benz or Audi. Then as we come on down, a small contrast stitching that's going to lead into a black speaker. There's going to be a very small amount of storage where your armrest will be, and then a window switch. And just below that, there's a little bit more storage and then a small area where perhaps you could fit a water bottle. So as far as seating position, the driver's seat is not positioned for my own height at 6'1". I had to move it up just so that I could fit back here. But as far as storage behind the driver and the passenger seats, you will have a net, and it's going to be pretty nice. There's going to be some pretty nice floor mats as well. There will be an armrest for your passengers. You are going to have your three-way split seats back here that I showed previously. And then in the center, you'll also have your AC controls there. There will also be 2 USB Type-Cs. Here is a look at the passenger side door. It's going to be the same beautiful material that we saw in the rear. There's not going to be any storage on this door up here by the armrest, but there will be some small storage space just below. As we enter the vehicle, there'll be a BMW I logo right there. Beautiful floor mats, glove box, beautiful nice wood trim there. There's this very interesting piece right here that holds up the dash. And then looking at these beautiful red seats here, you are going to have a thigh extension that's going to sit right there. And these seats are going to be heated. They look very nice. All of the automatic controls will be just on the side here. So on the driver's side, pretty much the same door panel that we'll see throughout the rest of the vehicle, except you're going to have unlock lock controls here. This is going to have some memory seat settings. You don't have those on the passenger side. All of the automatic window controls will be here. Of course, you'll have your mirror adjustments as well. The trunk button will be just down below here, along with some small storage. A speaker right here. As you enter the vehicle, a BMW I sill here. It's not illuminated. BMW floor mats here. And you're going to have some rubber pedals down below. So as we enter the vehicle here on the driver's side, you can see there's a thigh extension right here. It will be manual. The lever is just underneath there. These seats are going to be heated just like the passenger side. These will have all of the automatic controls, including the lumbar support. So on the inside of the vehicle, this armrest is going to be very cushiony. And then as we open it up to reveal the center console actually has a good amount of room in it. And there's also going to be one USB Type-C port with a light. And you can see there's also some texture in there to help reduce materials sliding around. And moving on up, this center area here is going to be finished off in this very nice wood gray material that is going to be high gloss. It looks pretty good. There will be this rotary dial on this side here that has a very nice tactile click to it. It'll also be surrounded with some buttons. There will be an electronic shift lever there with all of your gears. There will be a traction control off button, a parking sensors button, a start and stop button. All of your drive modes will be right here. There will be an auto hold button and then an electronic parking brake. So with all of these drive modes here, let me just show you what they look like. I'm going to go ahead and push Eco Pro. Now I'll show you what it looks like when you push Comfort. And then now I'll show you what it looks like when you push Sport. If we push this area right here, it will reveal 2 cup holders. There will also be a 12-volt adapter one USB type A, and there will also be a wireless charging pad underneath there. You can easily close it by pulling and then pushing lightly. Up from there, there'll be a volume knob right there. You can also skip and rewind tracks. Your hazard button will be sitting there as well. And then you can also defrost the vehicle with the buttons to the right. Just up from that, all of the vents will be right here. There will also be another vent on the passenger side and then the infotainment screen. Now, before we go ahead and take this i4 out for a drive, let's go ahead and look at the steering wheel. So this steering wheel is very small. It is not like a lot of the other BMWs I've been in where the steering wheel is just super thick. It doesn't have that chunky feel to it. It's going to be wrapped in leather. It's also going to have the heating component here in the center. You can just push that to turn it on. It's going to have this nice brushed aluminum pieces that are going to be surrounding this BMW logo right here. It is going to have more of that blue BMW logo on it, and that is going to be for this EV. On the left side here, there will be the cruise control options here. This one is not optioned with the adaptive cruise control. Your media controls are going to be on this right side here, and then you can also control some of these center items in the center tack, center digital instrument gauge cluster with this button here, as well as this scroll wheel. So here's a look at the center digital instrument gauge cluster here. So you can just simply adjust what you see in the center there by using this button right here. I'll go ahead and click this. And then as I scroll on down, you can see that some of the information changes there. Primarily, I like to just have it on the speed. So I choose the no content option. And then also you can just see the battery percentage is right here. And then on the other side here, you can also see the estimated amount of miles that it has, which will be right here, temperature, and then you can also see the speed limit and then some more information about the vehicle. And this is what it'll look like in the sport mode. This will be comfort mode. And this is what it'll look like in eco mode. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the infotainment here. So this is going to be the screen that you will primarily see if you hit the home button. So on the left side, there will be maps, Apple CarPlay. You'll also see there's a telephone icon there, personal assistance, weather, traffic conditions, values since individual, route preview, and you can also add widgets. If I click on the value since individual, that'll show you all of the trip data. Go ahead and hit home. So let's look at all of the rest of the items here. So if I hit this icon here with the 4 little squares, it'll bring up the entire menu. And you can see here, starting at the top left, it has a BMW ID. So you can personalize who specifically is going to ride in the vehicle. And that way the seats will change, the mirrors, the steering wheel height, all of that good stuff will be set for your specific ID. There's also mobile devices, personal assistant, Android, and Apple CarPlay in here. There's also FM radio, Sirius XM, Spotify, telephone, all of your standard stuff you might expect. You can also look at the vehicle live. Your system settings are in here, interior lighting. I'll go ahead and push that. So you can adjust all of the vehicle colors in here. So it looks like there's ivory, citrine, coral, flamingo, pearl, turquoise, and emerald, rose, and azure. So there aren't a lot of colors in this vehicle, but it is nice that they do allow you to customize some of the lighting in here. So as I return to the menu, you can see there's just a lot of stuff in here. Amazon Alexa, Audible, audiobooks. You can automate specific habits. There's a calendar you can use with your CarPlay. There's ChargePoint and Electrify America, different maps, there's messages. There's just a lot of items in here that you can control, which is very nice. And then if you do want to control certain items with your driving or your doors, these last 2 right here are going to be the primary ones that you're going to want to use. And then you can also go to your displays up here. And then looking back at the home screen here, so there's also going to be quick tabs like music, your phone button, navigation, and then CarPlay. All right, y'all, so I'm inside this i4. It is the base model, but I'm gonna go ahead and launch it, put my foot on the brake, and on the accelerator, it'll actually give me E% power up to 50%, which is pretty cool. So let me go ahead and try this. Okay. So I don't know if you guys could hear that sound as I was accelerating. That is really cool. I really wish Tesla would have that. But as far as the power and the performance, so this is going to be rear-wheel drive. That was not too bad, maybe about 5.5 seconds what I was getting on Draggy earlier as I was testing it. So that's not too bad whatsoever. But I honestly want to drive the BMW i4 M50. I think that would be absolutely amazing. This is kind of to me. So this is going to be about $53,000, and I honestly don't think that it's worth that. I would prefer to just get one of those newer Model 3s, and it's going to have all of the interior lighting. It's going to be faster. It's going to have, you know, this full UI and tech that's been out for years, that's been honed in and works very well. So I don't really know if I would personally buy this one, especially since it's the base model. I mean, it is nice that you have this giant infotainment screen, and you're going to have all of those normal amenities you might get with a BMW. Nice seats, nice feeling, nice steering, all of that sort of stuff. But in the base model, I don't think that it personally is worth that price. Visibility is very nice in here. It's very nice to have actual separate drive modes instead of, you know, just one or two. So I think the primary thing that I love in this is just that acceleration sound. It gives it a lot more theater, I will admit that. So they definitely have that over Tesla. And these doors, they just sound really good when you slam them. It's just very nice quality, similar to pretty much every other BMW that they make nowadays. So I'm going to go ahead and do another 0 to 60. I'm not going to launch it. So it definitely starts out very strong. Of course, this is going to be electric, so it has all of that horsepower and torque available to it, but this is only going to be rear-wheel drive. So another thing about this is when you let your foot off of the accelerator, it is going to brake, and you can adjust the regenerative braking. So if you want it to be low or medium or high, you can actually do that in this, which is pretty nice. So that's pretty much my thoughts and my driving experience with this vehicle. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, consider even just liking the video. I would very much appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.